Kahalo Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakah. Once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Green Millstone who rule well. I'd like to send salutations out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, alright, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth, alright, because time is very short, and we are trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect, alright. This is Naaman with the DC camp of Green Millstone, and this is going to be a short video. Sound kind of funny, that's because I got a little cold here, so from time to time you're going to hear me blow my nose, so lock it. But anyway, the angry man back here once again. This is something that from the elder apostles on down, I warned Jacob about is the so-called black woman. She does not care about you, all right? The so-called black man, the Israelite man. She's just out to get anything she can off of you because, hey, she takes after Massa, all right? She is his, what I call lieutenant on the left-hand side, his pit bull, whatever have you. All right, and he's going to get into, I'm going to go ahead and let him get in, but just take some scriptures into account. We're going to go into Isaiah 3rd chapter and some other scriptures, all right? Again, shouldn't take long. Something you should already be aware of, but for those of you that aren't, we just advise you to be very, very careful when you're dealing with the so-called black woman, all right? She's not your friend. Here we go.
Haven't you noticed that when a B-dub decides to be a bester or date interracially or a swirler, what do you notice about her behavior? Don't you notice that she changes and adjusts? Not to mention the fact that most of them always go natural. As far as their hair, they go natural.
Yeah, with you, she has all kinds of attitude, and that shit she has in her hair or the weave, it stinks to high heaven. All right. Doesn't really take care of herself when she's with you, but when she gets with Josh and Tim and Tom and Hank and your Edomites, your cave dwellers, oh, she's good as gold. All right. Or tries her best to be, but oh no, you don't get that. You don't. What's more, you don't, as a so-called black man, you don't deserve that. She doesn't realize what's going on, all right, and she won't listen. Now, for those of you who don't get butt hurt, all right, you Aquas that are listening, all right, if you're doing the right thing, all right, you know who you are, you're studying. Again, don't take this to heart. This is not talking about you. All right? There are going to be a lot of so-called Israelite women, and I mean from all the tribes, but primarily, the so-called black woman, she is just out of control. Nobody wants to be around her. That's why scriptures like Isaiah 4th chapter, that's why I was going to start in Isaiah 3rd chapter, because she is just prideful. And Isaiah 32nd chapter, she's all about this world. She don't give a shit about her kids. That's the curses. She don't give a shit about you. Again, the curses, Deuteronomy 28th chapter, verses 54 and 56, respectively. All right. We are still in a bad way. She doesn't understand that. She thinks the so-called black man's just being lazy. All right. No, she doesn't understand. And this goes into her having that lack of wisdom, all right? Job 39:17 and others, all right? And what's going to culminate in Micah 7 and 10. She's just going to be out there being abused because nobody wants her, and she's going to be left out there to fend for herself. Nobody wants to put up with that shit anymore. And as he's saying here, she's code switches, all right? It's very simple, and I cannot, if you don't see it, now you got a problem. You're one of those super simps. All right, let's see a little bit more. This is one of these shorts. It's not very long. Here we go.
When they get into an interracial relationship, but they change their mentality. They literally code switch.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the real question. Did they code switch? Or are they code switching with you?
It's the latter. All right? It's you. It's us. Again, because they've been conditioned to be that way. All the way from the infamous Willie Lynch letter. Really it's Psych 101. It's not really that in depth as far as psychology goes. That's what makes it so fucked up. This is basic, and again, for those of you women that see what's going on and you're acting accordingly, this is not about you. This is not talking about you. So don't get into your feelings. All right, so let's go into, I brought up all kinds of scriptures. You can let's go to Isaiah. Let's see. Isaiah 54. So that these are these curses. Isaiah, this is what Moses prophesied. This is what's going to happen to you if you do not. It says diligently. When you go to the first verse here, act accordingly to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, because she was feminine, all right, as opposed to now. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. You realize no other group of women, ethnic-wise, acts this way towards their own men. Number one in that is the so-called black woman. All right, and you can put as a second the so-called Hispanic. Everybody follows the so-called black woman's lead. That's why those Muslims over there are fighting like they are, because they don't want that shit over there. All right, but in that case, let's go to the 32nd chapter. All right, and it says what? We're talking about the churl here. I think I did another video on his. Who is the churl? We're talking about these people that set these policies, all right, and things of that nature, that are the elites, these agendas. All right, it says they have corrupted them. Wait a minute, how did I go to Salakia? I was like wondering what the hell. Hold on. All right, verse 5, and it says the vile person. All right, who are we talking about? The wicked. All right, the fool. All right, this is the so-called white man, the nation of Edom. The vile person shall be no more called liberal. All right, that is generous, magnanimous. All right, because he's getting ready to cut off all that, and that's what this is going into, all those programs. And all right, it says nor the churl. What's the churl? Niggardly. When you think of that word there, you think of who's the most famous niggard that we were all, of course it wasn't called like that, right? But a miser. What is a miser? It's a very stingy person. Ebenezer Scrooge, right? These are the people that are at the top. It says, nor the churl said to be bountiful, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. And oh, don't they practice hypocrisy. and to utter error against the Most High Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, which are the Israelites, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Again, our people, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices. Feminism was a wicked device. When you go into 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, it talks about those devices, those evil purposes. All right? That device, the wicked device, is to destroy the poor with lying words. Again, feminism. You don't need no man. He didn't tell nobody else that. But over time, his woman started believing in that. Because you go back to Gloria Steinem, there was a woman several years before she came along. Of course, she was working with the CIA. She wasn't an agent per se, but she was set up by them. And then you had this other woman that preceded her by just a few years, maybe 61, 62, somewhere like that. And she was instrumental in getting the woman out the house, going into the workforce. All right, all this was set up. And who did it affect more than anybody else? Our people. It said, wicked devices destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. All right. And verse 9 on down says, complacent women warned of disaster. We've warned you, but what's that expression? You burned all your bridges. All right. And Micah 7 and 10 is, oh my goodness. Isaiah 4 and 1. All right. Isaiah 3 and 16 talks about the daughters of Zion being haughty, meaning proud. All right, and it goes on down about how they were cursed, and then you get into the fourth chapter, verse 1. It tells you, at a point, hey, they're gonna have to cast all that pride away and say, you know what? Yeah, we do need a man, but it's gonna be too late. All right, it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage, what's that vintage? The grape crop. All those programs we were talking about shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you barren. That's going to happen. And gird sackcloth up on your lawns, because there's not going to be any places to get your nails done, get your hair done. You're going to have those Wolverine sideburns. Yeah, because some of you have taken in so many hormones that are put in the food here that has altered you. All right. And along with Isaiah 3 and 16 on down, it talks about the stink and all that. The rent, you're out of shape, not taking care of yourself. They shall lament for the teats. Again, those programs and things to help you. For the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. All right, all this is going to dry up. This Edomite is making moves. All right, and a lot of you are just unaware. And that's why we're out here, as it tells us to do in Ezekiel 3rd chapter. As watchmen, we're out there telling you these things, but you're not listening. You listen to that piece of shit that's set up in these churches to keep you fat, dumb, and stupid. And when the hammer falls, oh, it's going to be total chaos. But you know, people like me gonna have this grin on my face. Oh well. Yeah, that's gonna be about it. I said it would be short. Micah 7 and 10. We got to get that. All right. I could go into Sirach and all that, but for time's sake, I'm not. This is very, straightforward to the point. Again, you so-called black woman, you have. Talking about burning bridges, like damn, you put hydrogen bombs under them motherfuckers. They don't exist anymore. It says Micah 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is the Most High Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And that's how everybody's going to treat her. It says mud or clay. Figuratively, calamity, because you're going to be in dire straits. All right, the mire. All right, that's how you're going to be treated. Hey, okay, so with that, I think that should do it. Once again, this I like his challenge. Straightforward, and he comes in. I like how he comes into the into the frame sometimes when he's that's his stick, so to speak. But anyway, so with that, hey, once again, trying to advise you, Jakes out there, this is the time to get yourself in order spiritually, even physically to some extent. All right, because it's going to be total chaos out here. You don't want to get, you know, you know what I mean. People chasing you and shit, because it's going to be like that. Um, Once again, this is what we do here at Great Millstone. We filter everything through the scriptures, so you actually know what's going on. You can link these events up through scriptures, these prophecies. All right, and once again, I like to also bring to your attention, all right, the power of prayer and fasting. All right. So with that, until the next video, shalom.